Hello from Bugeye Guy. I'm here today to show you a really nice looking Bugeye. This is a Bugeye that one of our clients actually couldn't control himself and purchased a Bugeye on eBay, and it's a beautiful car. I wish he bought a car from us, and I know he wishes he did too at this point, because this beautiful car was really messed up mechanically, and we've shipped it here from Florida to sort it out. And what I wanted to share in this video, I'm so marveling at the fact that how crappy a Bugeye can drive when it's not sorted out. I mean, it's a very sensitive kind of experience driving a Bugeye. In other words, your body is feeling all these wonderful things, such precise steering and precise shifting, excellent pedal action, short throw, everything, very direct, very responsive. That's what makes them special. But when everything's wrong, they're just not very much fun to drive. I mean, for example, this was the incorrect shift lever. The rib case and the smooth case require different shift levers. They're very similar, but if you put a smooth lever in a rib case, which is what this had, you end up with, you see I'm banging it into the reverse detent there. And without that positive spring, it's impossible to really, well, not impossible, difficult to really locate the gears. This is clearly fourth gear, and that is where reverse lives. Sorry, it's difficult to do this while holding a camera. But now it's properly located with the proper plungers and springs, and the shift mechanism is delightfully responsive. Excuse me, the fuel gauge, that's a fuel gauge from a later car. We'll change that, but it's reading incorrectly because it's the wrong gauge. The speedo wasn't working at all. That's a new speedo that we put in a rebuilt unit. The tachometer is parked at 700 RPMs when the engine's off and reading way too high. Fortunately, one of the four gauges works, but that's sort of the theme with this car. When we got it, the steering wheel was about in this position for straight, so the wheel was on wrong, the alignment of the front tires was wrong. Now it's all straightened out. This is another chronic problem area. The horn brush was wrong, the thing was popping out, the steering wheel was damaged, the hub was cracked, and incidentally, we have all those parts in our catalog. I don't have a problem with people buying cars like this if they want a project. I mean, many people for decades have had a great time sorting out Bugeye Sprites. They're not very complicated. It's just that when a car is marketed as this perfect thing on eBay and a client who isn't looking for a project ends up with it, you end up with an expensive and complicated sorting project, and that's exactly what we've done here. All the wheel cylinders were leaking, the slave cylinder was leaking, the fuel pump was mounted at 12 o'clock under this axle. We have some pictures on the site. It was in this cavity just above the axle, almost as though the person who installed it didn't realize that the axle goes up and down. So we've moved it to the front. There is some space there, but I wasn't comfortable with having fuel lines there. The fuel tank had bad separated fuel with water in it. The tank was leaking. The filler neck had cracked at the base of the tank here, so we needed a new tank, and on and on. I mean, again, we're happy to do this kind of sorting. I just feel it's so unfortunate that too often these cars are represented as perfect, and that's not what you get. They're fallible creatures. They're British cars. They leak. They have their challenges, but they can be so wonderful when they're sorted out. And that's what we've attempted to do with this car, is bring it back to life. Now, it's quite wonderful to drive once again.